one den, which BK and I actually know the area, and I think we've seen that female, so that she's there with 3 of her little pups, so there's 4. So just that they know of, there's probably between 6 to 10 individuals on the reserve that they know of. But the amount of brown hyena that are seen here and that we've seen, I'm sure the population here is, again, it's very difficult to count these species, the burrowing species, in areas like this, especially because they're nocturnal, they come out at night, but that's where camera trap surveys really come into handy. Gives you an idea of the number that you might have in an area. So yeah, let's see what comes out from this burrow survey. Also excited to see what species are in the burrows that I've sent the links to for Megan. So the burrows that I've been finding while I've been here on Mabula, really excited to see what species she finds in those burrows. Imagine porcupine and brown hyena, or porcupine and warthogs sharing a burrow. I said to BK the other day, anything that shares a burrow with a porcupine needs to be very careful. Pangolins galore, wow. So amazing sighting of your bat-eared foxes in Zimbabwe. So yes, Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe is known to be one of the most famous areas for bat-eared fox. There's a very healthy population in that area. I'm convinced it's because of, that's why I was surprised to see bat-eared fox here, because the area that those bat-eared fox like to reside in Hwange in Zimbabwe, it's very sandy, Kalahari sand area. So it's unusual to me to find bat-eared foxes here, as Mabula is more open, I guess, well, more open grassland, but it's not the soft Kalahari sand that we know of near the Botswana border. But it's incredible how diverse these species are and how they can occur in such different areas. So we'll have another quiet moment and hope that something comes out here. I'm glad that our viewers, I'm glad we did see some ears earlier. Raw, it has been quite a varied safari, from special species to lions. I'm sure they had a great safari in Djuma as well. I know the elephants have all been around Djuma looking for those marula trees. And yeah, I know they've also had some really cool little interesting creatures in Djuma. BK and I spent our morning also getting very distracted with some bugs and beetles. Your day, it's amazing how much time can pass when you find some really cool beetles. I found a yellow spotted stink bug this morning, as well as a green locust. So yeah, green milkweed locust, I think it was called. So yeah, it's been a lovely safari, lovely being with you this afternoon. Very glad that we haven't gotten absolutely drenched in the rain. Please don't forget to check out the Fireside Chat that is coming after the Sunset Safari, which will be starting soon. And yeah, it's been great being with you from the different locations here. I hope everyone has a lovely evening. We're going to spend a few last moments watching our burrow, praying that something comes out, trying not to make any noise here, trying to be as quiet as possible. But yeah, I hope everyone has had a fabulous week. Happy Sunday. Wishing you all the best for the week ahead. From BK and I, that'll be all.
And jump!
They've got blood on them. I'm surprised they're moving as fast as...
We're saving the hand! Yes, Papa, yes!
This is because I made fun. This is because I made fun of Taylor.
See you there. I think he's eaten so much Nyala. If he gets into the pool, I'll probably fall out the car.
nzirikari zikuranza zihanza nziri na wena nina na wena hitalangutana tisana zisaba na wena aina swingo aina swina kuna vutomi mshotsaka chinyanga
Guys, Gruner's brought a cat to Djuma. Look at the little guy who just came around the corner.
While it's hid.
Zikombela kutsemba zitatsama na wena.
Is it just pretended to be dead?
No, it's not a leaf. It's a baby chameleon. That is unbelievable. Hey. Stop that. Stop that.
Thank you for coming along on this little adventure.
30 meters away from me, folks.
Okay, mister. Okay. Thank you.
Zikombela kutsemba zitatsama na wena moya wa mina ukomba wena zakuranza loko hitama na wena.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve, joined by Paul and Cameron. We're out and about this afternoon.
Ahina nchubu, ahina maka emafakweni ya mbilo, ahina maka fasira mina ritapela zatsemba utatsamba na mina.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this Fireside Chat where we are bidding a fond, sad, happy in many respects. I suppose there'll be a lot of laughter, there'll be a lot of tears over the next hour as we bid farewell to Djuma. Djuma has been our home, WildEarth's home, for the last 17 years. Now that's a very long time in my book. It's not a long time by nature's standards. It is quite a long time by the standards of the generations of leopards that we followed. We followed now 4 contiguous queens of Djuma. Is it 4? Yeah, it's 4. And we've watched them grow, and we've watched the latest, or hopefully the latest queen being born. And so we have a real history here, and it's been an incredible 17 years. We've met countless animal characters that have made us laugh. We've experienced tragedies together that have made us cry. We've met countless human characters that have done almost exactly the same thing as the animal characters have done to us over the last 17 years. But mostly, along with you, we have created memories that will last a lifetime, and we are very, very grateful for those memories. We're very grateful to the Mulmans, who are the landlords of Djuma, for putting up with us for those 17 years. It hasn't always been easy for them. WildEarth is a company that has been through its ups and downs, but throughout those 17 years they have been steadfast and wonderful partners over the course of our time here. I am joined by Amy Krantz, who's a relative newbie to Djuma, I suppose, which I think is quite appropriate, because while this is absolutely a look back at the past, it's also a look to the future and where we're going from here. And Amy will, with any luck, be a fairly substantial part of that future. Now, please do share your questions and comments, and mostly your memories, if you'd like to, on X, formerly Twitter. Can't get used to that. Hashtag WildEarth, otherwise the YouTube chat stream and the chat stream on the website will work just as well. We will try our very best to get to all of your memories and comments. I think some of you will send them through and we won't get to them, so please don't be insulted. Likewise, we've chosen 10 sort of big moments in Djuma's history. These are not necessarily the 10 that you would have picked. They're the 10 that we found, and we think that they encapsulate a lot of what we've experienced here over the last 17 years or so, but there will be thousands of others that many of you will remember. And look, if we don't get to your particular favorites, we do apologize, and we hope that you will forgive us as we go through the next hour or so of memory and enjoyment of the wonderful times that we've had here. We will also happily talk about the future if you'd like to send those questions. We are now going to go to this is one of the most wonderful clips with the Zen Master Steve and the Nkuhuma Pride.
I'm just going to jump off here again. Another junction, another movement. Well, one track here in front of me, and then one track went right there. I want to follow the track with the cubs. Sorry, I'm gone behind the car. That's very rude of me. I want to follow the track with the cub. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Okay, so everybody, we've just bumped into Pride of Lion. That didn't seem too concerned with my presence. So, hello lions.
So you obviously weren't around for that.
No.
Did you see it on social media when it came out?
I did, and I've started saying "oh my word" since.
Yeah, you have. That's
I mean, it's just one of those things. You're like, "oh my word." I mean, I don't know if I would have said it if I hadn't have seen that particular clip, but it's just a classic, and I don't think Steve will ever live it down.
No, he won't ever live it down. But nor, you know, the one guy who gets out of that scot-free is Gendry, who was on camera. There is no way he didn't see those lions, and he thought this is going to be
He was just waiting.
great game, and it certainly was. It gave us one of WildEarth's most iconic moments. Steve handled it absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, he did.
The language that would have come out of my mouth if I'm so glad it wasn't me, because we couldn't have played the clip. If it had been me, it definitely wouldn't have been able to play the clip. So a wonderful memory there with the iconic Nkuhuma Pride, a real mainstay of lion viewing here at Djuma, and Steve, likewise a mainstay of our time here at Djuma. All right, I'm going to go through a couple of questions here, and I don't want to take too much time on this because I don't want to run out of time. All right, Donna V. Hi James, what is my fondest memory of Djuma, and are you looking forward to seeing the new properties? Well, my fondest memory is probably meeting my wife.
Great answer.
Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So meeting my wife here was definitely my greatest memory. I think my fondest wildlife memory probably happened very early on. It was wild dogs on foot with Andrew, the cameraman, and we had those wild dogs on foot, and they were 2 meters from us, and it was just the most magical experience. Oh, and there was another one where I had Shongile the leopardess on foot, actually, and I still use this when I give little talks to people sometimes. I use a clip of watching this cat approaching us on bushwalk. She was 8 months old, climbing a tree, wow, watching us for a while and then leaving again. And for me, it was the ultimate kind of touch of genuine wildness. It was a real kind of connection with something completely wild, which was, well, that was wonderful. Your favorite memory from here?
Oh goodness. I mean, nothing, I suppose, like the iconic moments that we're sharing tonight, but I think of Shudulu and Nene at night with an elephant approaching 5 meters, and sort of the elephant and them between me and the elephant, and it was just what's going to happen here. And also just that, not on foot, but that wild moment of I can't do anything. It's pitch dark. Yeah. I'm at the mercy of these animals, and to see that interaction between the species was really special.
Great. That's a good one. Am I looking forward to seeing the new properties? We're both very excited to be seeing the new properties, especially up at Sandringham, where we'll start on the 1st, if we're lucky, possibly the 2nd of March. Yeah, we're really excited for the future and what's going to happen. Jackie Darling, heartfelt thanks to WildEarth, Moormans and the animals for the years of pleasure that they brought. Can't wait for the next chapter. I think that's exactly the right sentiment, Jackie. Thank you for that. Then you're asking what will happen to your name plaque and could it be posted to me? You mean the one from the vehicles? Well, we were hoping to take them, and so the ones were on Jigger, which is now a pile of sort of scrap in the car park. We've taken off and put on a plank, and we're going to do the same with the others. And when we find a new home, we'll mount them all. So I think that's what we're going to do with those, Jackie. Della, what happens to Gracie's plaque in the camp? Hope they can stay. So for many of you will remember that sometimes when guests or viewers have died, we've put up plaques to them. All of those will come with us when we find a new home. So they'll be stored until we find a new home, and then they will come with us. Painted Wolf, are we building new towers on Sabi? We are not building any towers, Painted Wolf. I should have read that question before I just blurted it out. No, we won't be building any towers. Not sure entirely what you meant there. All right, I think we're going to go to our next clip, and our next clip is this is another absolute classic. This is probably the most viral clip that WildEarth has ever produced.
I'm laughing already.
We can't stop laughing. We cannot take our eyes off of these mongoose because they are having a wrestling match. And look, we've got someone who's quite interested in the sighting too. Not only us, it's the hornbill that I was telling you about. Chase it away. Oh. Has it just pretended to be dead? Yes. Oh, that was amazing. I can't. How do I? It's like that. That is hands down the coolest. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I honestly did not know that mongoose did that.
I mean, what do you say to that?
Is it pretending to be dead? Is it pretending to be dead?
Classic moment there. And Amy was just saying, have you ever seen that? I've never seen that.
No,
But
I haven't.
It must happen.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a clip of somebody else seeing something similar. But I mean, that's just, I think that every so often, probably once a year or so, that clip does re-emerges somewhere on the, in the social media landscape, and it just shoots the light out again. So yeah, that was a really great one. Okay, I'm going to go through a couple more questions here. Right, Free Spirit. My happiest memories of Djuma are many, but the one I recall greatest is the beauty of the relationship between Thandi and her son Maripse. Yep, I think many will agree with you there. Rowena B. Do we know what will happen to the DRC buildings? The DRC buildings, I think, are probably going to remain unoccupied for the time being. Now remember, the idea is to lessen the footprint on Djuma, so I don't think anyone's going to go into them. Sky Doogie, you say you're so nervous about this fireside chat. Well, you don't have to present it, so I hope that you're less nervous than Amy or I were. Very emotional. Yeah, it's very emotional leaving Djuma. Michael Fleetwood, nostalgia and sadness, absolutely. Anita, will footage from the early years be available for public viewing? Those are our memories as well as yours. Which footage, Anita? Everything that we have, or most of it anyway, is on YouTube, and some of it is, some of it's just lost. We have lost some through corrupt drives and that sort of thing, but most of what we have is on YouTube. So all the really old stuff you'll find on YouTube there. Honey Badger, big thank you to Yuri and Pippa Moolman for having us over the last 17 years, absolutely. And Gemma T just reminding me there that I found my wife here at Djuma. Thank you for that, Gemma T. If you hadn't reminded me, I'm sure she would have a little bit later on. So, yes, there we go. Thank you for that, Djuma T. All right, I think we'll probably move on to our next clip now. This one is not quite as amusing as the last lot, but it's an incredibly heartwarming one. Lauren came to us as a dive master with a marine biology masters, and she fell in love with the hyenas, basically mentored by Jamie, and she fell in love with our hyenas of the Djuma clan, and she really made viewing them her own, and she spent a huge amount of time getting to know the different characters. And the greatest reward that a hyena can give you is to introduce you to its cubs.
The cup is out, everyone. The cup is out. Just wait, just wait. The cup keeps crawling up. Oh my goodness, everyone. Oh. There's two. Oh, there's two. Oh, everyone, that's such a perfect. Oh, Darby's catching me. I'm sorry, I've got a bit emotional. I don't know why. I think the world is not the best place at the moment, and this is going to make so many people happy. I know not everybody loves hyenas, but, you know, Ribbon's done so well. She's been through so much, although she also probably did some damage in her takeover. She's made her mark in science, and she's also lost. She's also suffered loss. She's also... anyway, I got emotional. Sorry. There's two. I knew it.
There's two. There's two. Classic moment. Classic. And I think one of the things I'm possibly proudest of here at Djuma is how, through very little of my own effort, but hanging on the coattails of my colleagues, I think we've changed the lives or the impression of hyenas globally, really. I mean, I think we've done a lot to do there. Don't you agree?
I completely agree. I mean, even, you know, there is a connotation or association of negative one with them. And I think Lauren's work through that, I mean, Trish as well, all of us to some degree, to just, you know, make the world generally fall in love with them. And there's so many people who just love hyenas now, and I'm very, very proud of that as well.
I'm always amazed. I go to reserves where they don't follow hyenas like this. And I say, well, have you got a hyena den? They say, oh, no, we think there's one in the northeast somewhere, but, you know, they don't go and follow them. And I didn't. I mean, when I was working at Ngala, we didn't have... I mean, we thought there may be hyena dens here and there, but we never went and spent time at them like we did here. And wow, what a loss that was.
It's provided so much entertainment. I mean, I remember one of my... I think it was probably my first drive on Djuma, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, and Ribbon was denning on Djuma. And I got to see probably her litter prior to the one that she has now, her little cub, for the first time. It was put on camera. And so I had a little moment like what Lauren had, and it was incredibly special. One that I'll never forget.
Amazing. And I think the only cub I saw first was Plonk.
Great.
It was a magnificent little hyena belonging to Corky. We don't think he's longer with us, but, you know, Plonk, thanks for the memories, old chum. All right, a couple more comments and questions. Your favourite human moment, this comes from Jill on a hill in the United Kingdom, is Cedric having hysterics after Mpho got stuck in a tree. Mpho, I don't remember you getting stuck in a tree. I will have to talk about that.
Absolutely.
That's obviously why you gave him that hiding in the 100-meter dash not too long after that. And then from, I think this is from Carrie. Thank you so much to the Djuma Game Reserve for many years of learning, laughter and tears. Yes, sending love and all the best for the future. Carrie, thank you very much for that. Michael Fleetwood, this is an amazing comment. Michael was 17 when he started watching WildEarth, and he's now 27, or he turns 27 this summer. Needless to say, this whole world of live has been part of 37% of my life, if he has his math correct. I think you probably do, Michael. Amazing. And then just sort of, I think there are quite a few of you who perhaps haven't kept up with exactly why we're leaving Djuma. At the end of last year, the Moolmans came to us and said, look, we've decided not to renew your contract because we want to reduce the human impact on Djuma. They will still have safari vehicles traversing here, but they want to reduce the human footprint, and so they want to empty the camps out. And we respect that. We're obviously very sad to go. We have at least managed to find other traversing in the northern Sabi Sands. We are going to be going as of 1 March. We'll be on a reserve called Annette's, and then on Chitwa. So Chitwa's just south of us here. Annette's just south of that, and that'll give us about 1,600 hectares as a foothold, and we're looking to expand that over the next little while. And then our other feed from the Lowveld will be on Sandringham, which is a very exciting project being run by Sabi, and they have got involved on a 5,000 hectare piece of land that will eventually become part of the Timbavati and Thorny Bush. It was a hunting farm. It's been reclaimed and is being redone. The Tracker Academy is doing great work there, and so we're very excited to be part of that kind of rehabilitation or greenfields approach, and we're going to learn all the new characters there. And the big excitement for us there, I suppose, is the possibility of white lions, which are naturally occurring white lions, of course, and that will be really exciting. So that's what's happening, and that's why we're leaving Djuma, for those of you who didn't have the context before that. Me, myself and I, you say, will the same guides still be in the drives in the new areas? Yeah, exactly the same. We haven't swatted out any guides, so we'll still have the same guides rotating through doing the work, and we're just going to be excited to be exploring some new areas. Right, and then I'm going to address the dam cam after our next clip, because that's quite a big discussion. Our next little chat or little clip doesn't involve a guide, actually. This is quite astounding. And in fact, I hadn't seen it until somebody said, why don't we use this as a highlight? And it comes from the dam cam itself. And so let's go and have a look at Dark Mane, the lion, trying to hunt an elephant. I mean, can you believe that lion? He was a proper warrior, that guy. And for those of you who don't know, he belonged to a coalition known as the Avoca Coalition. They came in here, and it was to my mind and to my memory, one of the most innocuous territorial takeovers ever. There were no other male lions here. They just booked in. They were probably about 4. They had scraggly manes. Any other place where there'd been territorial males, they'd have been given a hiding and told to go and grow up for another year. And they just kind of stayed. And then they had cubs. And they had left an amazing legacy. Did you met them all?
Not all. I saw Mohawk.
Okay.
But I don't think I met Blondie or Darkmane.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last remaining.
The last remaining
Mohawk. Just so you know, just about every single reserve you go to where there are male lions, there's a Darkmane, a Blondie, and a Mohawk, and a Ginger quite frequently.
Yeah,
as
correct.
Well. Yeah. So those names weren't unique. But the Avoca Coalition, by the way, I suggested once that rather than name them these things, what we should do is name them after varietals of avocado.
I mean,
I thought it
that's
was
as
a
good
great
a
idea.
suggestion as any.
Well, I was roundly shouted
Well,
at.
maybe we can bring that forward.
Yeah, I
to our
think we
new
should.
chapter.
I thought that was
Mango
a great
would also be an option.
Yes,
There's plenty of variety.
plenty of different kinds of mangoes. But Avoca, if I'm not mistaken, is avocado I think it's Italian. Anyway, it's probably a good thing we didn't call them after avocado varietals. Right, a few more questions and comments here. The dam cam. Let's chat about the dam cam. Lenny, you were wondering about it, and many of you have been asking. So the dam cam runs on a YouTube channel on its own, and then on our app as well. And it is currently running off our systems. We're going to take those systems and put them at another dam. With any luck, it's going to be the dam in front of Jackie's safari house, and we'll carry on running it the same way that we're running it now. The Moolmans are going to set up a dam cam at this dam in the same place, and so if you want to keep up with the characters that come past here, you'll be able to go on and have a look there. We are a lot of others of you have asked how are we going to keep up with the characters here at Djuma. Well, it's going to be difficult, but there are a lot of reserves that traverse here, and a lot of those guides and a lot of those reserves put out blogs and pictures, and so follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, or wherever it is you'd like to follow them, and you'll get updates from time to time on what those characters are doing, or watch the dam cam and you'll get some updates there. Where we are going, I mean, Chitwa's on the boundary. I mean, you had a sight. Was it you?
It wasn't me, it was John, but Tlalamba was
on Chitwa.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the northern border of her territory. So we could see her. We could see Chipondo there. The main leopardess character that we're going to be tracking there will be Kuchava. So still related to the Djuma royal leopards. So Kuchava and her 2 cubs, and who knows what else in that particular area. So very exciting times, but we will be sort of in touch with some of the characters from here. A couple more questions. See, Cantrell, you say, will the Ticket to Dream still be available? This Ticket to Dream, that's a good question. That's difficult to answer right now. In fact, it's not very difficult to answer. Yes, it will still be available. It just depends on the lodge where you go to. But yeah, in all likelihood, it will remain available. It'll just be a different pickup location and that sort of thing. So yes, it still will be available. What characters will we see when we move? I think I've kind of answered that one there. Clint from the Val, please follow those of us who have been living under a rock and have no real idea of why we're leaving. Well, I've just done that, Clint, so I'm glad that you've come out from your rock on the Vaal River. Well done, and welcome back. Okay, and just one more before we move on. We're going to go with, what was the most soulful connection you had with one of the characters on Djuma?
Oof, that's deep.
Yeah, it is deep.
Oh, goodness. I think when you feel trusted by an animal, it's something that's very, it is soulful. It's a, for lack of a better word, spiritual experience to feel that sort of, you're here and I'm fine
Yeah.
that you're here, and I'm showing you, for example, I mean, when I met Chipondo for the first time, just that Tlhalamba was so relaxed. With that, I think any sort of cat with a cub, when you have that sort of intimacy, you know, you're so in their little world that's supposed to be so private to them, and they're letting you in. So that sort of trust is amazing.
Yeah.
Elephants as well, I find.
Yeah.
You know, when you encounter a herd and they just are so calm, and they come up and they feed, and I get goosebumps just talking about it, because it really, I think those would be, I can't exactly pinpoint now, but in general that would be what I would say.
Mine was definitely that incident we had with Shongile on foot. She was the cat that I felt a connection with. I've no doubt she didn't feel anything of the same. I like to think she did. I know she didn't, but I did. Okay. Somebody who had rather too close a connection with an animal was the great Scott Dyson, Adonis as we used to call him in camp, and he is now running a perfume factory, if you can believe it, a very large one in various parts of Africa. But before he became a purveyor of nice smelling liquids, he was a fantastic presenter, and he had this amazing experience near Treehouse Dam with this elephant.
Hello, boy. Oh, settle down. Settle down. He is very, very close. He's pushing his trunk against the car. You can feel the car moving. Hey, 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 hey. Stop that. Stop that. That's unacceptable. No. You've got to stop doing this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start up the car and chase you away. Come on, boy. What was that all about? Whew. Can you believe it? I've never had that happen to me before.
I spoke to Scott the other day and I said, you know, we're having this fireside chat. Can you think of a moment that particularly stuck in your head? We've got this one. And he said, no, that's the one. That's definitely the moment. What would you have done?
Oh goodness, James, that is such a great question. I mean, I think he handled it remarkably well. What else can you do but try and just be as firm as possible without, because I mean, easily we could have just flipped that over. So you don't want to start an engine and then that could be aggressive, and so, you know, not ideal for them to touch the car at all.
No.
But
not
difficult.
not something we'd encourage, and not something Scott ever tried
not at
to do.
all.
It just happened to happen.
But it was slightly funny.
It was, absolutely.
It was just this elephant that was just so like, I'm going to do this now.
What you don't know, perhaps, is that after that, Scott goes to Treehouse Dam, and it's during the drought, so there's almost no water there. And that elephant comes down and sees him there, and Scott parks away. The elephant approaches him again, and he can't get away from it. And it comes up to him, and he ends up trying to push it away. And he realizes that this is ridiculous. It comes so close that he goes like that and pushes it. But it's completely ridiculous because it's a 6-ton animal.
Yes.
And I mean, Scott was a big guy, but this wasn't that big. And he came home and he had mud all over his hand. And I just remember thinking, he's rather you than me. So that was Scott and his elephant. All right, back to a couple of more comments and things. This one from Sky Doogie. Favourite hyena sighting was the one of the little ones did their whole set of little baby whoops. I cannot remember which young one that was, but it was just adorable. Yeah, lots of adorable, magical moments of the hyenas. Francois, how, if at all, will we be able to follow Tlhalamba and Chipondo's journeys? Only through the dam cam, and then by, like I say, following the blogs of the reserves that traverse here. Arathusa traverses here, Chitwa traverses here. You can go and stay at Chitwa and come and traverse here. Ancora traverses here. Does anybody else traverse here? Probably. Elephant Plains traverses here. Exactly. So there are lots of people who do traverse here, and you can just check out, follow their guides. Some of them take photographs, and you'll be able to see what's going on. Do you know which animals we will still be able to see in the new areas? I think that was the characters. I've kind of explained that. Where will the WE team stay? Well, at the moment we're going to be staying here for 2 months. We've got 2 months where we can stay here while we're not broadcasting here, which is very kind of the Moolmans, just while we're wrapping everything up, because we've got a lot of infrastructure going on here. And after which we'll stay probably, hopefully, down south close to Chitwa. But we don't have a new home base planned yet, and we're still looking at that. What we don't want is to have everybody totally separated completely. So we'd like to have a place like this, where we can have a studio set up like this, where we can do fireside chats, we can have guests, we can bring people in for interviews and that sort of thing. So that we're still looking for there. Maria, the impact we had and has on our whole family is immense. Good. We've all fallen in love with so many characters, and when visiting SA, we've made sure to meet some of them. Great stuff. We've just booked a trip for July and booked a place that will allow us to meet again. Thank you very much for that. Giraffe Girl. Time and love of Djuma led to the grade 4 class creating a learning project that still makes an impact on the learning and organizations in the Djuma area. Year 6 sees the project growing again. New adventures ahead. Thank you very much for that, Giraffe Girl. All right, let's go on to our next clip. And this one involves I think we can probably comfortably call him the leopard whisperer. I think Tristan's skill at finding leopards was pretty unparalleled, with the exception of maybe Herbert, our magnificent tracker who used to work with us. But Tristan really had an uncanny ability to find these cats, and still does have that ability. And one of his favorite characters was Maripse.
That we can't radio. Right, so Marips has found himself a puff adder that he's busy playing with, which is dangerous. I've seen leopards die from puff adder bites, so it's not good that he's playing with it. You can see he's pawing at it, and he's very nervy about it. You'll see every now and then he just jumps up. This is one of the fastest striking snakes in the world, so he shouldn't really be doing this, but this is part and parcel of being a young leopard. You've got to figure this stuff out. And you can see the snake every time in the bush. Boy, be careful. This thing can hurt you. I think he got hit on the paw. Marips, be careful. I don't like it when they play with snakes like this. Like I say, puff adders are dangerous things. They can hurt a cat, and he's been hitting it. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's not often that you see this. Like I say, in all the years, this is the first time I've actually seen one kill a puff adder and eat it, which is pretty ridiculous.
Right, well, an astonishing sort of situation there with that snake. And then to have exacted his revenge in that way, I mean, how wonderful was that? And that cat's been through a lot. You were around, you were just saying you were around
I
when
was
the
around,
operation was being
yeah.
performed.
So I wasn't around when he was first seen with that. I think they did something initially, and then they actually brought the vet in to operate and sew up part of that and all the rest of it. And we broadcasted live while that operation was going on. Cedric was here at that time. And yeah, I was driving around with the for the rest of the show. And yeah, we even joined the reserve management team after that to do a follow-up on him. And it was, wow, it was a very emotional time to see, you know, a cat like that. Then subsequent to that, we saw him, he popped up by Chutwa Dam. He was looking so skinny.
That's right, yeah.
And to see him now, I saw him a few weeks ago. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
These animals are, I just use the word resilient. It's really amazing to see where he is now and recovered so well.
And that was a tremendously powerful kind of period in many respects for WildEarth. Seldom do those interventions go well. Normally they go badly. The animal doesn't, you know, he had a big snare. For those of you who don't know, he had a snare that went around his shoulder. He got one leg through it, and it really did rip the skin up off him. And when we found him, he had the snare on him. They darted him, took the snare off, and then left him. They sacrificed an impala and put it in a tree for him to eat, and he fed on it for a while, and eventually they decided, when you arrived, that he needed to have a medical intervention, which they then did. And still, you know, these things can go very wrong. Tavangumi is a great example. You know, he had exactly the same intervention, but he became far too used to people, and eventually they had to put him down. And Marips didn't. Marips has been the most tremendous success story. And, you know, for all of us who've been so involved in these animals' lives, it was, I mean, apart from the entertainment value, because obviously a story like that, it follows the classic hero's arc, doesn't it? I mean, it gets to the point where it's touch and go. This animal's going to die, and then miraculously he pulls through. So a really powerful story. We also developed, I think, our relationship with the Sabi Sand over that period, which is really fantastic. We've now got a very strong bond with the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve authorities, and we're very grateful for the access they've given us and for the time that we spent with that special cat Maripe. Sharon, you say WildEarth has enriched your life for over 10 years and you're looking forward to another 10 years. Well, I hope to be around, yes, in 10 years. I'm not sure I'll be presenting in 10 years. Can you imagine how old and crotchety I'll be then? Like many, my best memories were of Karula and her two famous cubs, Shongile and Hosana. Absolutely. R. Laura Moore, can the new dam cam be utilized during Live at the Waterhole live stream episodes? No, I don't think it'll be used during Live at the Waterhole episodes, but you'll be able to watch it. So, I mean, anytime you want your Djuma fix, you'll be able to go onto the dam cam stream. Shreyas, you say you simply can't pick a favorite. There are just too many indescribable or incredible memories. If not for WildEarth and Djuma, I would never have fallen in love with the South African bush. It's where my love and passion for leopards and hyenas truly began. That's wonderful. Thank you for that, Shreyas. Nature Chick, and thank you also for the effort, you and Michael Fleetwood and James Richard and Judy H. and so many of you. And I haven't left anybody out on purpose. So many of you have dedicated to learning our animals, identifying them. You're far better at it than we are, and we're very grateful for it. Thank you. Nature Chick, will we see more of Maripse in the areas that we're going? It just depends where he disperses to. I mean, it's possible. I think it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Tony, will we be able to see the Nkuhuma Pride? Yeah, we absolutely will be able to see the Nkuhuma Pride. They are much further south than they used to be when we first started here, so the Nkuhuma Pride will definitely be a pride of lions that we see. Will Mabula Safari continue? That's from Rob. Yes, absolutely. Mabula remains unchanged, as does Amakala, and as do our virtual safaris out of Velgevonden. Sharon in Minnesota, do you know if there will be hyena dens in the new locations that you'll be able to get close to? I can tell you for free that at Sandringham no one has any idea. We'll go and find out. And then we won't be able to get to the Djuma Clan Den currently, but we're still working on that. Okay. Asking, will channel 183 and YouTube continue? Yeah. Animal Angel, I think that's a good question, simply because it's important that everyone understands this is the broadcasting, and what we do at WildEarth doesn't change. Our mission remains to connect people with nature. The same number of vehicles, they're just going to be in different places. So it's only Djuma that's changing. So yeah, channel 183 on DSTV and the YouTube channel will continue, as will all of our, whatever platform you're watching on now, will continue as normal. Okay, let us now move on to the most incorrigible, loudest. His initials, BLS, were translated from Brent Leo Smith to Big Loud Sound by my wife. And here, Big Loud Sound is doing a magnificent job of following a buffalo hunt.
And there's buffalo as well. Everything's going on. The lions are chasing the buffalo. I can actually see her still chasing buffalo there. Coming right towards us now. Lions with the buffalo right hot on its tail. And they're chasing it towards where the other lions are coming. Junior is actually coming in from the right. She's jumped on the buffalo. She's right on its back. She slowed it down. And Junior's right in front of them there. Hold on, guys. We're going to get in there now. Junior's got involved in the fight. And all of the lions on top of the buffalo now. I've just got to get ourselves in a safe position. There we go. You can see how the one lioness has got her onto the throat. The others will try to tire it out now.
That was Big Loud Sound driving that poor Land Rover to its absolute max, and he got into position. He absolutely did. And they're classic Nkuhuma pride on a buffalo. I mean, that's real Djuma stuff, that there. Have you seen them hunt a buffalo?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Haven't seen them take it down, but they did attempt to follow.
Okay.
It was unsuccessful, but we'll hopefully, fingers crossed for the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, Brent gave a lot to WildEarth, as to have the Nkuhuma pride over the years. And let us not forget, many of the buffalo have also given a lot, unwittingly and unintentionally, and no doubt definitely not willingly, gave to our enjoyment of Djuma. There was something very profound here that was worthwhile mentioning. Oh yes, a great memory here from... I can't find the name, but mentioning some of the great memories, which included... Oh, here we go. Some of the memories: Rexon finding Misho and Nduna, who were Karula's cubs; Hansel and Gretel, who were two cubs of the Nkuhuma pride who rejoined. You can see why they were called that. Yeah, that was also with Big Loud Sound. And then Anderson and Tingana, but most of all, the white muscle disease, which nearly wiped the Nkuhuma pride out. And it was an amazing kind of period during that incredible drought where buffalo were dying like flies, and the Nkuhuma pride were eating them all, and they were getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And we think that it's a lack of selenium and vitamin E, and I forget exactly what the interaction was, but it just caused these young cubs to whittle away. Yeah, it was a interesting memory, if not the happiest memory there. So thank you for that. That was from Janine. Jade KMI, we've been so lucky to have every moment with WildEarth, and I thank everybody in front of the camera and behind the scenes for all their hard work, and look forward to every moment to come. Yes, the key there is looking forward to every moment to come, so thank you very much for that. Okay, we're going to play the next clip now. This comes from the biggest animal we get out here, and most definitely our very smallest presenter ever.
She's going to come right past us, so we're just going to have to sit really nice and still now. They've smelt us. They've gone very still. Hi guys. Hello Mom. I'm talking to them so that we don't take them by surprise. Hi, guys. Hello. What you doing? Hi. I will stand if I need to for you. Yes, I will. I will. Nicely. Hey. Go over there. Over there, please. Go over that way. Thank you. That was a young cow, so it was better to just put our limits up there so that she knew.
And I've always said that women make better guides than men. And the reason is that's how they react when they are confronted with an animal who is clearly much bigger, more powerful, and more dominant than them. They don't try and dominate it. There she was, talking quietly, just showing it very quietly who's boss. And with Jamie, you were always sure who was boss. It's a little bit like my colleague here on the left. There's a boundary that you don't cross. And what a wonderful experience to have had that live. And the bushwalk, I think, is probably a big thing that I miss and that I hope one day we'll get back. Being on foot with animals and filming that live was just a great privilege. On foot? Would you like to guide on foot here?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I would love to do that. It would be amazing. It really would.
It just adds so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just, there's no way to describe the feeling of being in the bush on foot in terms of a connection to nature.
Yeah.
It's incomparable to being in a vehicle.
Yeah. No, that was a very special thing that we used to do. And my favourite experience of that was actually being charged by a lioness who had cubs, Herbert. She charged us while we were live. It wasn't a massive charge, so I don't want to make out like we stood down a pride of growling lions in front of us. But she gave us a rev. We'd found her den, and it was 3 little cubs. We called Trishala in. She then came in and we saw the cubs. But that was an amazing experience to have experienced with Herbert, the tracker. And to do that with a tracker so skilled was just absolutely fantastic. Now, we've gone, I think there have been 2 particularly, what shall we say, recalcitrant, definitely, incorrigible characters here. We've seen the one in Brent Leo Smith, Big Loud Sound. The other, of course, is current incorrigible number 1, Cedric Dold. And this was his contribution to teaching kids survival skills.
Right, survival challenge number 3. Yes, I know that Lauren was doing a lot of mud wallowing and all that. Good survival tactics. My survival for the mud wallow, for the water holes, is if I'll get maybe like a buffalo or something that's going to be chasing me and there's no trees around here, what am I going to do? No way, all good? Okay, so.
Nobody is entirely sure what he was trying to do there. Who was on camera? Was it Mpo? Mpo? Do you know what he's trying to do? No, it doesn't. It was just very spectacular, and I'm so glad we have it on camera because you couldn't tell that story. No one would believe you. Wonderful, and I mean Cedric's created lots of lovely memories like that. Thankfully, fewer of them, or very few of them, have involved him scraping the skin off both his knees and thighs for your entertainment. They've mostly been around finding animals, which is exactly really what we're here for. I just had a thought, and we've been talking about the dam cam. Really, I must make mention of our zoomies. Now, a zoomie is somebody who sits at a computer anywhere in the world with a good internet connection and an incredible dedication. And they remotely operate our dam camera and will continue to remotely operate the damn camera when we put up the new one. And they have been just amazing over the last 17 years. They run themselves, they do it entirely on a voluntary basis, they run the timetable themselves, they are astoundingly dedicated to bringing us pictures from what is such a special place, and have given us countless memories. So thank you to all of you Zoomies for your efforts there. A few more. We don't have a lot of time. We've only got 5 minutes left, so I think we're going to go on to I'm a little bit sad that this is my highlight from Djuma. I feel like there may have been some animal ones, but this is the one that was chosen. There, everybody, is a diagram of what we're about to show you at the Djuma waterhole. Take a look at this. There we go. This is unbelievable. There was a hippo right there, everyone. But there is no longer a hippo over there. So let us observe the hippopotamus that I have drawn for you. A number of amazing features, of course. The most important being that the nose of the hippopotamus, the eyes and the ears are on the same plane, which means that if the hippo is lying under the water, let us pretend that that is the water's surface there, H2O, you can see that it's, while it's I'm sorry. No. While its head while its body is under the water here. So, this is seriously, I mean, I'm genuinely trying to show you something here. Its nose, its eyes and its ears are out of the water while it's standing on the river floor. So, I mean, you know, I've got countless memories from this place. That was, I lost my mind, obviously, there. I was drawing in the tent. Yeah. I mean, we could have picked Chongile on foot. We had the wild dogs on foot. We had the lion charge on foot. We had all sorts of things. And that is what my esteemed colleagues thought really encapsulated my time here at Djuma. My utterly useless drawing skills and losing control of myself on camera. So thank you to all of you who chose that, audience and colleagues alike. Very grateful to you for that. Right, okay, right, we've got very little time left. I'm just going to address one or two more things here. Sky Doogie saying we might see Mzemba, who is Hosana's son, Guchava's nephew, if we are around Annette's, so that's very nice. And then Tracy in Colorado saying, you've just discovered safari and have fallen in love. Love what I've seen so far and can't wait to see what the future holds. We also can't wait to see what the future holds. There's a beeping noise coming out of Mpho. I think he's run out of battery. And Mindy, you're saying you think it's important to be grateful for the times and the sightings we have had here at Djuma and be hopeful for exciting new adventures to come. Absolutely. Nybek, onward and upward, you say. Absolutely so. Djuma is always going to be part of our WildEarth makeup. The stories are part of our history. The memories will be everlasting, especially in the digital age of YouTube and social media. And so we will never forget this place. Who knows, maybe we'll be able to traverse here one day again, but I don't know. For the moment, we're just very, very grateful to have had it. To have been here. We're extremely grateful for the support that the Moomans have given us, and we're extremely grateful to all of you. One of you has asked, or Jackie Darling asked, what you can do to help going forward. Just keep watching and just keep telling people about us. We will see you on Wednesday for the next live safari. Until then, good night and stay safe.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.